Hi, it's Dale from The Average Joanne. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to remove a background from your photo using a free web-based program called Fotofuze. I'll put a link in the description below. Most successful professionals will tell you at the very least, your first listing photo should have your product centered on a white background. There are plenty of programs out there, but I like this one because it's really easy to use and it's free. Now there are paid options if you really want to, so you could get this Fotofuze Pro, and what it does is it gives you priority processing, early access to features. It photofuses larger file sizes. The upload and download times are a little bit quicker. You won't have these advertisements coming up. And something new, I haven't actually tried this yet, but you can actually take your photos that you do on here and you can put them live on Etsy. So that might be a really neat feature. But for today, we're just going to use the free version. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new album and I'm going to add a picture. Upload. And so I'm looking for some pictures. These are older pictures that I took I would just have a tablecloth in the background. I wanted that solid background, does still help, but as you can see, there's wrinkles and all kinds of stuff, and the photos were taken really dark. So I want to brighten that up, and I really want to focus just on my product. So I think I'm going to take this Apple one right here. And there it is. And again, you can see all these shadows, all these wrinkles. It's really dark. And if you use this as your listing, yep, you have that solid background. You have that product right in the middle, but it's not really bright. It's not something that really captures your eye. And a good chance a potential customer is just going to go by without even clicking your product. That's what we want to avoid. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a couple of tools that they have here. They have the magic highlighter or they have the regular highlighter. With the magic highlighter, you're going to just highlight something, and what it does is it kind of starts capturing like items. And that works for something, but it doesn't always work for everything. So now we're just going to take this eraser and I'm going to increase the size here to make it faster. And we're just going to erase all that. The other one is just the plain highlighter. This is just going to highlight exactly what you highlight. It's not going to look for those other options. It's not as fast, but it can give you some clean backgrounds. But I think for this one, I'm just going to use the magic one. I'm going to decrease this down to about the size of that grape there, and we'll go from there. I'm going to capture in a few of the shadows that are just below this picture, maybe right over here. So that looks good. That shows you the preview right here of what it's going to look like. Now, maybe your picture came in and you needed to rotate. Well, you can rotate it with this little nifty tool here. And maybe you want to crop it. Maybe you don't like that exact size. You can actually crop your picture here too. Maybe I'll just crop the size just a little bit. And we'll do that. So there's my preview. Now what else can I do with this? Well, there's this bar here that says sensitivity. Now that's going to really reflect what we do for these shadows here. So right now we're on 1, so we're not very sensitive and we have really dark, harsh shadows. If I go all the way to 5, you'll see that those shadows, they're still there, but they're really minimal. So I think I'm going to go down maybe to 4. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So we're going to keep that. Now what the background clarity is, this is all this background that you've actually just cut out. Well, maybe you have a little lace that you want to come in. Maybe there's something that you want. Maybe you just want a little more translucent. So you can play with this one right here. See, basically that undoes everything that I just did. and then maybe you want a little bit more or less. I want that plain white background. I'm going to keep it right at 100. And the other option that we can do here is this brightness. So there's a little bit of photo editing if you really want to, if you don't have one on your own computer. Here we can make it a lot darker, or we can make it a lot lighter. That's really washing things out. So I think I'm liking that right there, right around 20. Now, one other option that you can kind of play, there's other things right here that you can do. Lighten your highlights, overexpose, auto crop, things that you can play with yourself. Just get in here and start playing. But you can also kind of watch your background style. So see, I still have the plain background, but it's changing the colors just a little bit. But again, I like the white background. That's really going to highlight my project. So I'm really liking how that looks right now. I'm going to hit finish. Again, these download times are going to be slower using the free version, but for now I'm okay with that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to download this batch. Now if I wanted to add more pictures, I could do a whole series of pictures, but for this I'm just going to do this one. So I'm going to download this batch, and again it's going to take a little bit longer, but I only have one picture, so it's pretty quick. I'm going to open that up. Now I do have an actual free version of Photoshop, which has limited capabilities. And that's what my picture looks like right from that Fotofuze, which was really neat. What I like about the Fotofuze versus my version of Photoshop is that in Fotofuze I can do a lot of pictures all at the same time. So I think that looks lovely. My product is fairly center. It's bright. It really captures your eye. And there's a good chance that if somebody is looking for a handmade wooden apple-shaped cutting board, they're going to click on this photo to learn more about my product and hopefully will buy it. So I hope this was helpful. If you like this and you might like other tutorials, you might want to think about subscribing to my channel. We'll be doing lots of updates on all different types of subjects, not just listing on Etsy or laser engraving, but crafts of all different types. So stay tuned, subscribe, give us a like on Twitter, Pinterest, and Facebook, and we'll see you next time on The Average Joe and Ann.